Welcome, champions, to another electrifying Alliance War season. It is season 53, and with no new global tactics this season, it's time to take everything we learned last season and apply it to the battlefield once again. Can we build on last season's success, or will we face new challenges in a quest for victory? Only one way to find out. Let's fight. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here we are, kicking off Alliance War Season 53, and our first matchup, for Loki is taking on a familiar opponent, PYCB. Now, while the season might be new, the tactics remain the same. It's going to be a grind, but we're ready for it. And speaking of tactics, I've got 3 tactic fights lined up in this one. Unfortunately, my favorite attacker is banned this time around, so I had to mix things up a bit. But no worries, I'm bringing in Shuri, Chavez, and Scorpion to handle business. I'm excited to show you how this one plays out. Alright, and to start off the season, I'm on Path 4 in Section 1. First fight up is going to be Shuri versus Toad. Really, plan going in here is not throw special ones. Kind of un-Shuri-like, but they really don't help in this tactic. In fact, they hurt because the critical shocks do not count as debuffs. So the plan will be to throw special 3s. Last season, when I used her, I used special 2s, but I want to try out the special 3 because for every shock that's on the defender, when you throw a special 3, they get a nice little burst of damage. So I think I'm going to use that when I have to use Shuri this season. So you can see here, we get in there, and we're just kind of taking this as a normal fight. 5-hit combos. There, I only did 1 hit because I wanted to back away so I could get a heavy in to refresh the shocks. And, you know, this is a fairly straightforward fight. It's going to be a lot of parry, 5-hit combos, you know, some heavy attacks thrown in here. And here's the special 3. So if you look at this, going into it, he's about 65% health. You know, and between the special 3, long animation, and the burst, it does about 30% health. So it's really not too bad. You know, probably get 1 of those off a fight. You know, if I can build up more shocks, I think it would probably do, you know, a fair bit more damage. And here we go. We're going to finish him off here with a nice little 5-hit combo. And very easy first fight, very clean, like starting a war season that way. Right, and the next fight up for me is going to be Werewolf by Night. I was originally assigned to use Titania, but I asked if I could use Scorpion because I could become Rupture immune with Scorpion. And that's the biggest threat in this fight to me, is getting a bunch of Rupture stacked on me because I do not like his AI. And I tend to take a lot of hits in a block. I tend to have to block specials, and those Ruptures can really build up over time. What you'll see here is I still have the Power Start 1 boost on. I'm, you know, going to throw a special 2 to start this off just to see if the Petrify can help control some of the power gain a little bit. Not going to try to refresh it or anything like that, but, you know, just wanted to get it started off. And it did a decent amount of damage there as well. So now the plan will be just to kind of play this as I play Scorpion, which is going to be medium light mediums into a special 1. And then, you know, keep the taunt on there so I can kind of control when he's going to throw specials. I'm going to take the specials into block. I'm just being as safe as possible. You know, just trying to play cautious. I don't have to use Scorpion for another fight. It is just get through this fight with full attack bonus. And here we go. So another special 1. You know, trying to keep as many shocks on there as we can. Trying to keep the taunt on there so that he will throw specials, which he was very nice to do there. And now it's just trying to get a parry, try to keep him from howling, trying to, you know, really just control the fight as best as possible. And now what you're going to see here is he's at his 10 of his lycanthropy charges. So when he throws this special afterwards, he's going to be unblockable and unstoppable. So we just have to back away a little bit. There we go. He ends up so we can now, you know, do a parry. And we're going to go in now for another special 1. And the plan here was hopefully he'll kill himself when he throws a special. And he does. So came through it, took a little chip damage, but clean fight in my book. Moving forward into Section 2, I jump over to path number 2. This first fight up here is going to be Rintrah, and I'm going to be using Shuri. Same plan really as Toad. I'm going to use special 3s. I'm going to knock them down to refresh shocks. I'm going to try to use just my normal hits to keep the debuffs flowing, so I keep the global tactic on, more or less cooldown, and not have to worry about it. So, starting off just very conservative until I get the 5 on there, get the heal block, kind of turn off the global for a little bit, and now it's just kind of a lot of heavies, a lot of 5-hit combos, nothing really special on this fight. I do like that I am getting the Fury. It does speed it up a little bit, but you can see it's just kind of a slow fight. Having to really bait a lot of special ones. Just in general, a lot of specials from Rintrah. It is a pain kind of fighting him. He's tanky. He's got a lot of health. And you can see here, now we get to our first special 3. He's at 77% to start this off. Had a fair number of shocks on there. And you can kind of see the difference in the health pool between this Rintrah and Toad at the beginning, where, that really only did about 19%, which is still a pretty decent chunk. We're just going to kind of continue to build up the shocks. We're sitting at 25, 26 right now, something like that. And, it's time to get, him to throw a special 1. And then we can heavy into it to refresh those shocks, keep 27 on as we build our way back to another special 3. He is now down to about 40% health. No real big worry in here. I'm going to throw the heavy to kind of refresh those shocks again. He throws another special 1. I could have done a 5-hit combo there, but just kind of threw the heavy out of kind of muscle memory fighting Rintrah. Here, this is kind of where I get into really just a little bit of a bad cycle. If you notice, I'm not throwing my normal hits, so I didn't have the global on. Now I do. So, that could have led to some trouble. You kind of have to still be a little bit smart as I'm trying to refresh specials and things like that. Here, we're going to go for the finish now. We're going to throw a heavy. We're going to throw a special 3. And based on the one before, this will definitely kill him off. And there we go. He falls over dead after the special 3 animation from the burst damage. First 3 fights up. First 3 fights down. Feeling pretty darn good. 2 harder ones coming up, though. And the first of those harder ones is this Domino. Taken this plenty of times in the past, but with this tactic, you can't throw your special 1 to get the crits and finish this fight fast. So the plan here, once again, special 3s, try to keep the global on cooldown and just, kind of fight conservatively. She's got the placebo buffs that she'll put on you, and when they expire, she gets a burst of damage. As long as I've got the global on cooldown, that burst is limited somewhat. So you'll see here, I do throw on the invuln boost, just in case I push her to a special 3. Allows me to tank the special 3. I'll still take the bleed damage I'm bound to have at the end of it, but it's just to try and be, as safe as possible in this fight. So you can see now we've got the global on cooldown. We get her up over bar power. She's so nice to throw one. We dex out of it, and now it's just kind of going to continue the same plan that I'm probably going to be using anytime I have to use Shuri this whole season, which is just be conservative. And there, we get a little sloppy. She got lucky. I didn't really notice it. And then if you notice, I didn't have the global on cooldown, so I was missing. And there we kind of get lucky. We went untouchable when she threw that special. Really sloppy gameplay right there. That whole sequence wasn't very good. Wasn't paying attention that I didn't have the heal block on. Fortunately for me, the invuln boost and the untouchable kind of worked in my favor. Probably shouldn't have done it the way I did. Here I'm trying to bait a special 1. So we end up going ahead and just getting a few more hits in there, get a special 2 out of her. Now she's down to 0 power. Now we can throw a special 3. And what you'll notice here is, she's started this was about 45% health. The special 3 itself doesn't do a whole lot. But that nice little burst there does about another 10%. And there we go again. I thought I had a parry. I didn't. Eat a special 1. I get the crit bleed on. Now I'm getting a little worried. It's not going to tick me down too far. I've almost got her dead, but need to be cautious. Fights against Domino, all it takes really is one mess up. And here we go. So we get, Now a couple more hits in, we've got our shocks ticking, we lose some, we throw a striker just to slow it down because she was going to die from the shocks. Kind of an ugly fight, but you know what? We got through it and we don't need to use Shuri again, so we don't need to use any heals. Now you'll see here, I'm going to throw on some Mystic boosts. It's time to use Chavez. I was a little worried about this fight that's coming up. I am not the biggest fan of fighting Maestro. And especially when he's on the node that he's on, I can't use special 2s against him. So it's special 1s and special 3s only, because if you throw a special 2, he's going to regen that energy damage that you put on there, and he's going to heal up pretty much to full. So, really, really concerned about this fight going in. I know I'm going to take damage. I know I'm going to take damage from the cosmic radiation. I know I'm going to, really glance a lot of my basic hits. So the plan going in here is just to fight this as a Chavez versus Maestro fight. 4-hit combos into heavies. We'll cancel heavies out every once in a while, like right here. We'll do 2 hits so that we get a different dimension up. I want to get all 3 dimensions up for, as much of this fight as I can. I want to knock them down as much as possible. And then really what I'm looking for in this fight is that little cosmic counter that is counting up on the right-hand side. I'm having to pay attention. I need to make sure that when it hits 40, I'm ready to be rooted. That is usually what ends up killing me when I'm fighting Maestro, is I'm not paying attention to that, and I get rooted, and I'm not ready for it to happen, and I eat a special or something like that. So here we go. Now I wanted to get all 3 dimensions up before I threw the special 3. Just, because it'll refresh them and add another one on there. It just adds to the damage a little bit, and the special 3 does a decent amount of damage. And as you can see, so far the fight is going according to plan. He's down to about 40% health. I'm still practically full health bar. Now look at his cosmic counter. Okay, he's at 37, he's at 38, 39, and there we go. He's now at 40. So when he throws specials, I'm going to be rooted, and I'm going to start taking that cosmic radiation damage. Another 3-hit combo, get that dimension up. He throws another special. I take that one into block, unfortunately. Does a little damage there. Here we go. Now we're going to refresh here the special 3. And kind of the hope here was this would kill him. Getting close, but not quite. So 5% left. All we really need to do is get a good clean parry, bait out a special 2, don't get hit, and now we can finish this fight off. And there we go. First war in the books. 5 fights up, 5 fights down, full attack bonus all the way. Feeling pretty darn good. And that's a wrap for War number 1 of Season 53. 4 Loki pulled off a close one against PYCB. It always feels good to kick off a new season with a win, especially against a tough opponent like them. I'm happy to report that I finished this war with a clean record, 5 kills and 0 deaths, a solid start, and I'm hoping to keep that momentum going throughout the season. For those of you interested, I've got some mini-account war fights coming up next, so stay tuned if you want to see how those fights played out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and feel free to leave me a comment down below. We'll see you in the next war. Take care, all.